What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Yee podcast.
Love it, Ben.
I am Hayden. What? No. Okay.
Ben, that was pretty good. Maybe we should switch over to you being the intro.
I kind of like how you do it. You got to open and close.
I'm not following that up. That's our intro. The
Hmm.
podcast is now filming.
Alrighty.
Ron.
I am actually Ben Donahue, not Hayden Adcock.
Bend87
Bend87.
on Instagram.
Yep.
What's up, y'all? We got the original gang back. It's been a little bit. We've been playing with the different people that we have in here. We had Stuart last week with Tyler. Who was the week before that?
Maddie.
Maddie.
Yes.
Maddie. Yeah, that was a good
Both
one.
great episodes, so if you haven't
Mm.
seen those, definitely go back and watch.
Yeah, real quick before we get everything started, we noticed that we've got about 85% of all of our listeners and viewers of these podcasts that aren't subscribed. So make sure you hit that subscribe button real quick. We actually did a giveaway last week, and I have the name, but I left it in the other room. Pause. All right, we're back. The winner of last week's giveaway of 2 flannels and a Brandon Jones Yee signed hat is Justine Morgan.
Woo! Let's go!
Let's go,
Yeah.
Justine. Congrats.
Yeah!
There were a lot of comments. Thank you guys for the support. We just are trying to rack up those subscribers so our videos get more views.
Yep,
So
it's really the only motive.
God, that sounds so bad.
Yeah, we love you guys, and we want to send you as much stuff as we can.
Yeah, so we're probably gonna do these every other week. Justine, we commented to you last week, so send us your info. But yeah, we'll do a giveaway probably next week. I think we're gonna probably do it every other week, so it'll be exciting. First thing that we're talking about today is the Little League World Series, which just wrapped up this last week. And Little League World Series, I love it because it always happens in the middle of downtime. There's no other I mean, I guess there's regular baseball, but I don't really watch regular baseball.
I think that's the only reason why they do it, because who would watch that?
Oh, yeah,
if
yeah.
there
no,
wasn't other
it
sports
definitely
on
is.
TV.
Well, and it's important to remember, like, I was watching it. Some team made 4 straight errors, and even though these kids are very athletic and they're at the top of the game, I guess, in 12 and 13-year-old level, there's some really bad kids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of errors.
Is this just a battle of who hit puberty faster? Or is it a pretty good indicator if you're going to be athletic?
I don't think so, because I think it's a big deal. You'll see every once in a while, who was that? There was a guy that was an all-star, maybe Todd Frazier, I think, but he won the Little League World Series, and then he played in the majors for years. I think it was Todd Frazier. There have been a couple, but it doesn't happen often, so it's always a big deal. You're right. I think it is just a race to puberty, and there's some kids at 12 or 13 years old that are towering. That's the only sport, seriously, if you think about it, where there is a 6'6" kid. No joke. There's a couple 6'6" kids, and then you've got a kid that hasn't even hit
There's
5
a
foot.
6'6",
There was
12-year-old?
a massive kid. He was a catcher. I don't remember where he was from. Now, and it's every once in a while. But, yeah, it was – I mean, it's Little League World Series. I guess it's sports, but it's kind of tough to watch.
Yeah, from the age, 7 to 14, that was always a dream of mine,
Yeah.
was to make it to the Little League World Series. But I was definitely one of those little squirts out there, so.
Well, you still are.
That's
but
fine.
Yeah. It's funny too, because I did the exact same thing. You would always, whenever you were 8, you were thinking, man, those kids are 4 years older than me. And then you got to that age, you're like, man, those kids are my age. I've done that with every level of sports. Like whenever I was in high school, you would see a high school football game on. Man, that kid is huge, and he's my age. Then I did it with college, and now there's guys in pro sports that are younger than me that are just dominating. So it's crazy to watch.
Well, I remember watching – when you're a kid, you're watching those older guys, and you're like, okay, I still got time. Like, I can
Yeah.
I may, put on, another 4 or 5 inches and, be taller and more athletic. Like, I still have time to add strength. But then it just comes to a certain point when you're, 19, you're a senior in high school, and it's like, all right, guess I'm just going to be 5'11" and bench 175 for the rest of my life.
Well, I did the same thing with shoes. The other day I was trying on shoes at the store, and I put my foot in there, and I wiggled around, and I said, okay, there's still some room for growth. I'm 27 years old. I'm not growing into those shoes. I am my size forever.
Okay, so here's the question. If you got dropped on to a Little League team, do you think you could lead them to win the World Series?
By myself.
You right now, as you are, you think you could single-handedly lead your team
100%.
to a world championship?
100%.
What position would you play?
I would pitch, and I would hit leadoff because then I get more at bats.
Smart.
Do y'all think y'all could?
How fast do they pitch?
The average is around 70 on fastballs. I've seen some kids throw a little bit harder.
You tell me.
So
I am a middle school baseball player who played like a couple years at a small town and had fun with it, but I definitely wasn't good enough to start.
yeah,
varsity
football was your sport.
in high school.
Parker, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think you could bring your team to the championship. right now.
Would I start?
Oh yeah, you would start. You would start. Golly, I mean they're 12. You know,
Pitch every game.
yeah. I mean you would definitely be the star player, but then you would meet my team in the championship, and I would strike you out.
Fair enough.
Ben, what about you? Do you think you could single-handedly take your team to the championship?
100%. Yeah.
Ben was hitting some dingers at the Round Rock Express game the other day.
Yeah.
I still got the length on him though, or exit velocity. I had one on you.
I had velocity, I think.
Okay, I think I had the
I
length.
got
on
the
you.
bat speed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about this. I really do think that my whole strategy would be I would pitch first hitter of the game from the other team. Can I say this? Yeah, I'm gonna say it.
Yeah.
I would throw as hard as I can first pitch of the game and hit the leadoff hitter. Then everybody on that team would be terrified to get into the box because he just got a wild kid. I threw in high school, like mid to upper 80s, nothing amazing, but I think I probably throw lower 80s now. There's no way I even throw mid 80s, but that's faster than all those kids throw. If I hit one kid, they'd all be terrified of me for the rest of the game.
I mean, whenever you played baseball when you were younger too, like it was honestly, if there was at all a fast pitcher, like for that age group, you were already kind of like, oh, like,
yeah,
this is kind of hard, but let alone like just a 26, 27-year-old, like coming out of
yeah, that's another thing. Do the kids realize that I'm 28? I guess there was that kid a few years ago that was 3 years older than everybody else,
Really?
and he dominated. It's been a while. It's been like 10 or 15 years, but it was a huge story. And he was, on Benchwarmers where he has the little ID and it says I am 8. Is it I am 8?
12.
I am 12. I am 12.
The
and he-
$10 bill.
Yeah, and he just gives him a $10 bill. That really happened. I can't remember the kid's name, but he was older than everybody. Huge. The kid was huge, and he owned everyone on the mound. And then they ended up finding out that he was too old. So.
Do people still watch baseball like they used to, or is it on a steady decline like I think it is?
It is on a decline. What I've noticed with myself with watching baseball is that it's always directly correlated to how well your team's doing, because there's no other sport that it is so painful to watch whenever your team's bad, because there's 162 games. It is all summer. It's great. Like, I'm a Rangers fan, Texas Rangers fan, and they're terrible, and they've been terrible for a couple years now. And you stop watching because it's every day loss. Whereas football, your team can go 0-16, I guess there's 17 games now in the NFL, and at least you only have to see 16, 17 losses,
Baseball with me, I think it's so much fun to go to a game in person.
Yeah,
Or
best in-game experience.
to watch the playoffs.
Yeah.
And other than that, it's kind of just...
Playoff baseball is a different animal. It's very, very fun to watch. I went to a couple, whenever the Rangers were good, I went to a couple games, and there's nothing like it. It's an awesome atmosphere.
So Team Michigan ended up winning the Little League World Series, and we got a good presence for Ye Nation up in Michigan, don't we?
Yeah, shouts to Michigan.
Yeah.
Wonder if anyone knows anyone on that team.
Yeah.
Bet so.
Comment below if you
have
do.
to be close to someone.
Yeah, I'm sure. Ben, tell me about this you were talking about this new iPhone feature this morning, and explain it to me like I am dumb, because I am, and I didn't really get it, so I want you to explain it to me.
So pretty soon this fall, the iPhone 13 is coming out, and one of the features I saw about it, it's called like a low orbit satellite. And more or less what that means is that the satellites just have closer contact. So where we might not have had service to make calls or send messages before, we can send messages now. So if you live way out in the country and you don't have service or whatever else, now you'd be able to make a call or receive a text where you might not have before.
Interesting.
We were in Uvalde, Texas, deep South Texas, last weekend.
Yes.
And there was a lot of areas down there where we didn't have any service. We were at Brian's buddy's place filming the new fall video and photo shoot. So when y'all see that video and then most of the photos, that's where we were down in South Texas. And for a lot of the ranch, we didn't have any cell service at all. Honestly, AT&T has passed up Verizon recently.
Yeah.
Hot take. I'm a little upset about that. But we were like, I bet in like one of the things that we'll look back with our kids and grandkids is they're gonna laugh about how we didn't used to have cell phone service in certain places.
Like everywhere.
Yeah.
That's so
They're
true.
like, yeah, we used to go out in the country and you couldn't call or text anybody. They're gonna be like, what?
See, I'm not sure if I like that, honestly, because there's something like freeing about whenever you go out into the woods or like to like a really remote like fishing spot where there's nobody else, it's just you, peace and quiet. You don't have your phone buzzing, going off all over the place. Like there's something just peaceful about that. So I'm not sure if I'm happy about this feature. I might like turn it off.
I think it's all about perspective. If you live somewhere where there's never service, it's probably a pain.
Yeah.
But if you live somewhere where you do have service and it's more of a thing where you take it for granted, then it probably kind of sucks that you're about to get service everywhere. There's a place
Right.
that my dad's been camping with his high school buddies forever, and they've got a yearly trip that they go. And it's, if you're familiar, there will be some Texas listeners. It's like right outside of San Saba, Texas, Lampasas area. And beautiful country right on the, I guess that's the Colorado River. And we go every year, and it's one of the most freeing things because you don't get service. And it's about a 5-minute drive up to this hill, and everybody at this camp that camps at these campgrounds knows where to go up to get service. So every night we'll go, or every other night we'll drive up there and make the drive. And there'll just be 20 trucks sitting out there, and everybody's just talking to their wives or their family back home, and then or just screwing around on their phone. It's like it's the best to kind of go up there, get your phone fixed for 10-15 minutes, and then come back down. So I think it's all about perspective.
We were also watching the NASCAR race in the middle of filling a feeder. In the middle of the shoot, we were like, wait, it's going into overtime because Brandon was in second. This was the weekend before this.
We were using a hotspot and it was just barely working.
Yeah.
We got to watch the end of the race.
Yeah, that was the Michigan race. I think Brandon got second or third. Speaking of, we all got together. The highs and lows of NASCAR, folks. We all got together this weekend on Friday night to watch Daytona, and Brandon was starting third, so we were all pretty excited. And he'd just gotten like second or third the week before, so we felt like he had some momentum. And then his car overheated on the 8th lap.
Which sucks because that wasn't really anyone's fault. It was just
well, a lot of people are saying
misfortunate.
it's a hot take. A lot of people are saying that it was people are blaming at the end of the day, the chief does kind of take responsibility for, but I'm sure that there's a lot of stuff that we don't know about, so I'm not going to press blame. But apparently there was debris on the front, and people were saying they should have called him in sooner so that the engine didn't overheat, and they shouldn't have kept him out so long. But
I know it's certainly not Brandon's
it's
fault.
easy for us
It's
to
anybody's.
Yeah, it's definitely not Brandon.
That's the only thing I know.
Fault.
It's definitely not his. It's
Yeah.
someone behind the scenes. So.
Yeah.
The NASCAR and golf is just those two sports. Now I understand because I like golf, but I don't really have a guy that I root for. NASCAR is just one of those things, man. Like you said, we got all excited. Everybody comes over to the house, and then it's done. Within 10 minutes.
And then the weekend before that, you were like busy with friends. We were doing our shoot, and all of a sudden we look, and it was like it's in overtime, and he's in second, and we weren't even watching. Dang it!
It's always the weeks we don't watch.
Yeah,
but he does better. I see you have a new.
None of us are going to Bristol then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, speaking of which, we're working on Bristol right now. We're going to do. That's September 17th. The race is on a Friday night. We will be there with Granger. And so the way this is going to work, we're still confirming details, but there is going to be some type of thing on stage with Brandon and Granger, and it'll be in the Bristol Motor Speedway fan zone. So be on the lookout for some details. So you won't be able to meet Granger at that or Brandon, but you'll be able to be there, and you know how that goes. And then before that, Bristol is doing a giveaway. So there will be 10 people, and that giveaway will probably roll out in the next few days, maybe even by the time this podcast is out. There will be 10 people that get to meet Granger and Brandon before all of that happens. And then there will be, I think, 100 people total get a Yee Brandon Jones merch pack. So be on the lookout for those giveaway details, and we'll let y'all know. But we're going to be there. We're pumped. we've had this date circled for a while, so we're excited to get up to Bristol. I've heard it's beautiful. It's out in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains, so I'm excited to get up there. I've always wanted to see that part of the country.
Yeah, if you can, that would be a good weekend to come and travel. And a lot of people prefer. I was talking to a guy this weekend. He said that he loves the Friday and Saturday night race weekends because Sundays are just tough because a lot of people have work the next day. So that would be a good weekend to come travel. It's a night race. Friday night is when we'll be there. And then Granger and Brandon will be there Friday afternoon.
And come say hi to us if you see us around.
Yeah. This weekend is Darlington, looks like, which Brandon won last year, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, late in the season too, I think. So
got Darlington this Saturday, Richmond after that, and then Bristol, which we'll be at.
Did y'all get a chance to do any shooting whenever y'all were down in South Texas?
We did not. You know, I guess today when this episode comes out is the start of dove season.
Yeah, and at least in our zone.
Yep, and then we're in the north zone of Texas, and so I'm excited for that.
Were y'all able to find the clay pigeons the other day here at the farm?
Yeah, we have a ton of leftover.
How did you shoot?
So I've shot twice so far in the last week. The first day was terrible, and then second day was a little bit better. We should go today.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, we should.
It's one of those things. Last year, I grew up hunting, but then throughout high school, I was always playing sports. In college, I was out in West Texas. There was really nowhere to go. That you have to know somebody out there, and I've just gotten a little bit worse on my shot than I was whenever I was growing up, and my dad's a really good shot. So it's just one of those things. It's exactly like y'all with golf. It's just you just have to do it over and over and over. And last year at the end of the season, I told myself, next year all of July and August I'm gonna practice for September 1st, and then I've only shot twice, so we'll see. But we've actually got last year it was just me hunting a lot. You weren't here yet. Ben wasn't here yet. Stuart, who wants to hunt out here, hadn't been hired yet, so we've got a whole lot of people now that want to shoot.
Yeah, it should be fun. I'm excited. I grew up in South Texas in Uvalde, and it's a very big hunting community, and so like we grew up dove hunting and whitetail hunting like my whole life, and so I'm excited to get out and do it again.
I've seen crazy videos from South Texas of dove hunts. Is it really as crazy as some of those videos?
It's
like
uncomparable.
Explain it, just how it works.
I mean, you can go out there with 30 other guys and all spread out across the field, and I mean, still get your limit in an hour. It's usually better early in the season, dove are. It just kind of depends on where you're at.
What is the limit?
15.
Sometimes it changes, but yeah, I think
at least for our zone. South Texas operates on a little bit different.
Well, so it's weird because Uvalde, the north side of town, is considered the north zone, like the Texas north zone, but the south side of town is in like the south zone, and so it's like it's super weird because I think the north zone opens earlier, and so it's like then everyone's like dove hunting north side of town, and then it kind of spreads out.
You know, it's really interesting, and you probably see this everywhere in all kinds of states, but if you ever look at the zone map, it's crazy how it goes up and down, and you know it's not like a line or anything. You know they do that for ranches, like certain ranches and stuff. It's the same way if you ever look at in big football towns where there's, like in the DFW area in Dallas-Fort Worth, there's all these really weird, like a line will be going for a school district and then all of a sudden it'll jut out and you wonder what that is. Oh, that's a brand new housing addition that has a lot of athletic money and a lot of athletic kids. So
all right, so one of the things that I'm really excited about is that football is back. So we had 5, I think, NCAA games this past weekend.
They were awful.
And that's not quite what I was excited for. I think the best game was like Illinois-Nebraska, and it was a fairly close game. I usually tend to root for Nebraska. I don't know why. I just kind of pick and choose teams from different conferences that I like. But, yeah, that was kind of a letdown, but there will be more games next week. And then my college team is playing next week as well. So I'm excited to cheer them on.
I don't know what game you were watching because Illinois blew them out.
The final was like 30-22.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I watched the whole game. It definitely seemed like
just
Nebraska got blown out. I'm the opposite of you. I love watching Nebraska be bad, and I'm gonna tick off a lot of our listeners because I know that that's one of our big fan bases. But they're just like they're a very cocky fan base, but they haven't been good in so long. It's the exact same, and I'm a Cowboys fan. Obviously, I'm wearing the hat today. It's the exact same as the Dallas Cowboys. All their fans are cocky, just like the Dallas Cowboys, but they haven't won since the mid 90s. I guess they won in the late 90s a national championship, but they haven't been good in forever. And then they lost to Illinois, who's one of the worst teams in their conference. So it was a weird start to the season.
I wonder what's going to happen with the Patriots now, just because they had like a huge drop off last season compared to where we were for like 20 years before that.
They'll be better. I think they'll be better.
I think they'll be better than last year, but they were under 500 last year, so there's like a lot of room where they could still not even make the playoffs. Like,
so y'all are both Texas A&M guys. Y'all play this up. I guess everybody kind of starts playing this weekend at least.
We have Kent State,
the big rival.
Big game.
Yeah,
big game.
By the way,
big first game.
That's going to be closer than y'all think. I'm just saying.
No, it won't. Not with Jimbo. Well, Vandy last year actually was pretty close. Our first game.
Yep.
The first game of the season, you really never know, especially with a quarterback who's never started.
That's what I'm saying. Kent State will be within 27.5 points.
I bet so.
just a number that I pulled off the top of my head. Yeah, just a random number.
Yeah.
There's no reason for that.
Sports betting.
It's not the spread at all. So what do you think, Parker? I love Parker in football season because he's not really into any sports except for Texas A&M football is like all in. You and Tyler are both at the level where y'all know recruits and stuff, and I don't keep up with recruiting or anything, but Tyler and Parker both know all the new recruits' names, like where they're at. I've watched A&M football with him early in the season, and he just has the depth chart pulled up the entire game so he can learn all the players' names.
They actually just released the depth chart today, and I need to go look at it and kind of get a refresher. But, yeah, I just like being involved and seeing who's starting and who's not and who are the younger guys. And I just like being able to look at a player's number and be able to, like, know what year they are. I don't know why. I've just always enjoyed that. We lost like 4 offensive linemen last year, and we have a brand new quarterback, but the defense is supposed to be strong, so
we got this.
We'll see. I'm excited.
Y'all's new quarterback looks exactly like King Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Have you seen the picture?
Yes, I saw that.
It's very funny.
Yes.
You never want to be going into battle with King Joffrey because we all know how that ended up. Spoiler alert, he dies. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones.
You just threw off so many people.
Yeah, I don't
there.
care. It's been out for a while. You should have watched it by now.
Fair enough.
That's on
fair
you.
enough.
That's on you. I got The Sopranos ruined for me from a podcast I listened to.
Oh.
And you know what? I thought about it. I was like, that show came out in the early 2000s. That's on me. That's my fault for not watching it sooner.
Yeah.
So what's your prediction? How many games, or do you think y'all get into the college football playoff?
A&M football is like a gift card that you find in your wallet, and you don't know how much is left on it. And then you just go try it, and then could be a playoff, could be 4-8. I feel honestly I'm a little nervous because so many people are predicting us to win the West this year, who usually don't. But also I'm just not really surprised because we got Jimbo, baby.
That's right.
So do I think we'll make the playoff? No, not with a freshman. I would not trust a 4 out of 5 brand new offensive lineman and a quarterback who's never started before.
Yeah.
It's a building year.
Yeah. But do I think we
Give it
could get 9 or 10 wins? Yes, because it's Jimbo.
So you think you lose to Bama?
Yeah.
We posted on Instagram this
It's
weekend.
not much of a surprise.
We posted on Instagram this weekend and said something. It was a picture of Granger watching college football on the bus from a few years back and said, college football is back. Who do you think wins the national championship? And, of course, everyone has their hot takes. There were some awful takes in there. Like, I'm sorry, Kansas State is not winning. They're not even winning, like, 4 games in their own conference. Definitely not winning the Big 12 or the college football playoff. But
sleeper pick.
Yeah,
Kansas
sleeper
State.
pick Kansas State. I bet that person still thinks that Bill Snyder, the old man, is coaching. But I ticked off a lot of people because I said Bama doesn't even make the playoff this year. And that's my hot take. And I think Ohio State's winning the championship. But everyone got so mad at me. And then we're going to use this clip whenever that happens at the end of the year because I have a feeling if there's ever a year that Bama's down, it's this year.
Do we get them at home this year?
I don't know.
I think it's at y'all get
yes, it is because
yeah.
I remember I looked up tickets and it was like $300
Yes.
for the very top of the entire stadium.
Wow.
Are you going to go to a game this year? You haven't been in a few years, have you?
I'm trying to figure it out. Yes, I would like to.
Moving down to Texas, like that's one of the most exciting things for me is like getting to see these like big
Bless you. Bless you, I guess. Parker kind of sneezed, but then he like ate the sneeze. So
But-
weird. Just sneeze next time.
Yeah, but anyway, getting to see a big conference football game, like you have SEC, Big 12, like all kinds of teams, like within like 2-3 hours of here.
Yeah, you're from Boston, so you had like
Boston College.
Boston College, you know?
Last time I went to a Boston College game, the final was 6-3.
Oh,
It
big
was
ACC, Big
was
Ten
tough.
football. Well, that's how the Nebraska-Illinois game started off. It was a safety to start the game. It's like, that's the most Big Ten thing ever, 2-0.
yeah.
All right, we're going to go to break real quick. We'll be back with fantasy rankings. All right, guys, welcome back. This week for the weekly fantasy rankings, we're going to follow the sports theme, follow the football being back theme, and we're going to do the best tailgate food that you can eat. So I'm going to let, which of y'all do I want to go first? I'm going to let Brain go first.
Let's do
Brian, why
this.
don't you kick it off for us?
All right.
I want to
Darn.
be first.
First.
For the best tailgate food is gonna be the jalapeno popper.
Yep.
It's a classic. I love it. But HEB, which is a Texas grocery store that if you live in Texas, you love it.
The Heb.
South
They-
Texas, it's not even in
True.
the northern part.
They have jalapeno poppers that have links of sausage in it as well, and it's superior. So that's my first pick.
That was a great pick until you said that you bought the pre.
No, I know. I like making my own too,
Yeah.
but
It's kind of like hiring another man to mow your yard.
sure,
You know,
I understand.
I don't really respect you as much.
That's fine.
All right, good first pick. I'm going to go with the classic. I'm not going to overthink this. Whenever I'm tailgating, I like to have a beer in one hand. I don't want to have to set the beer down to eat something, so I'm going to go with hot dog / brat. You can keep the beer in one hand. It's on the other hand, you got the beer, or you got the brat, you got the hot dog. Can't go wrong. I'm not going to overthink my first pick.
Do you do any toppings on your hot dog?
Yeah, this will probably tick off a lot of people because this is a hot debate. It's almost like, do pineapples belong on pizza?
Like apple pie.
Especially you get like people that have Chicago dog or New York dog, I guess, is the two big differences. I don't even know.
I
what
thought
they
a
are.
New York
one has
dog
relish,
was like
one
out of
doesn't.
like a big tank of water.
Yeah, it's just gross.
off
yeah,
the
yeah.
street.
The New York dog is just gross, actually. I just do mustard, man. I just like to throw some mustard on it and call it a day, and that's my hot dog. Parker doesn't like mustard.
Me either.
If you put ketchup on a hot dog, I think that is a fireable offense. That's not great. And I know a lot of people do that, but yeah, you're a big ketchup guy.
Oh yeah.
So you're saying bratwurst over regular hot dog because
Well,
there's
no,
a big difference, right?
I'm saying both. That's part of my pick. Brats, because they both go in buns. They're kind of like the same thing.
Yeah.
And
if
I'm
you've
kind
had
of
a really good bratwurst, it's like, why would you ever go back to a regular hot dog? Though
So
I guess
true.
sometimes it's more simple, but a bratwurst is so good.
Have y'all ever Googled the video of how hot dogs are made?
I don't want to know. Let's
Yeah.
go next.
What about bratwurst?
I've seen it. It's
I mean,
is
it's
that
all
just as bad? Probably.
I don't. Yeah, it can't be.
I don't
as
wanna
good.
know.
I think brats is a little bit different. I think it's a different part, but yeah, go look up the two food videos that are disgusting but amazing are how hot dogs are made and how McDonald's chicken
yeah.
nuggets are
I
made.
was, I was waiting for you to say it. I was like McDonald's.
because I
chicken
love me
nuggets.
some chicken nuggies.
Oh,
from
they're
McDonald's.
so they're good, but like you just kind of have to
Gross.
put that video out of your mind if you're
Gross,
eating
dude.
them.
It's disgusting.
What
Yeah.
about like venison sausage?
Yeah, I mean, that's great. It's just whenever I'm thinking tailgate food, I'm thinking stuff that's a little bit more readily available. Like I've been at tailgates before where there was venison or all kinds of different stuff.
I guess
wild
I'm just
game.
thinking in terms of like what's less disgusting when it's being made. I'm sure it's still gross because sausage is sausage and people just like to put it out of their mind and they've just branded it well, I guess.
The way that you can fight that is by a lot of people process all their own meat so they know what is
Yeah.
going into it, which I would love to do. But I
Oh
just
yeah,
don't have
Granger's buddy Jared Ladner does all of his own sausage.
to. Yeah, that's
Does
sick.
he?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I
A
didn't
lot
know
of people do their own deer and stuff, which I'd love to get to that point one day. But it's a lot easier to just I gut it and everything, but then take it to a processor to do all the stuff that I don't know.
That's like having another man mow your yard.
No, it's not. That's very, very different.
Sure is.
That's very different.
Down in South Texas. It is.
Oh yeah, maybe in South Texas. All right, Parker, what you
All
got?
right, I'm going with the homemade pigs in a blanket.
Mm.
Vienna sauce on this
Mm.
on this same topic, Vienna sausages, which are probably terrible made, but
Ooh, yeah.
we don't talk about that. Vienna sausages in a crescent roll, homemade.
Wait, you mean Vienna sausages, like out of the can? I think you mean the little Smokies.
The little, yeah.
What's the difference?
They look the same.
No,
But
Vienna
little-
sausage is very. I'm
It-
not
it is
hating Vienna
different. It
sausage
is
because I like
different.
it.
But
Vienna sausage is more pink and it's like a perfect little cube, or like a
Yes.
perfect not cube, like a little cylinder. Whereas the little Smokies come in that
it's like a smoked
suction.
sausage.
Yeah,
Vienna sausage is like a
is in a can.
raw hot dog almost.
It's
That's
in a
what it looks
can.
Like.
The way
Well,
I I make
little-
it that we eat sometimes is the little Smokies.
Yeah.
That's a
Put
great
little
that's a
weenie
great-
of your choice in a crescent roll.
Yep.
Not a croissant, which we did realize are two different things
Oh,
the other
okay.
day.
Yeah, we got called out on that.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
that's a good pick. That's a good pick. I feel like I am kind of the reasoning behind that because we used to have Super Bowl parties in high school at my house, and Parker would come over, and that was one of the things that we had. I mean, a lot of people would come over, but that was one of the things that we always made is the little Smokies. So every Super Bowl, Parker got a little Smoky.
My mom makes pigs in the blanket Christmas Eve every year, and we eat
yeah.
them Christmas morning.
Yeah,
It's great.
that's good.
Cool story, Brian.
Thanks. All right, what's your pick?
Oh my gosh, that was so mean.
That's all right. I'm used to it. Normally from Hayden.
Yeah, yeah. That's
that's
why I kind of
okay.
like it whenever Parker gives it
Yeah.
to you. All right, what you got, Ben?
All right, pick number 1. I'm gonna go the classic all-American cheeseburger, and it's great because like I think when you're at a tailgate and again going off the like what's readily available kind of thing, like there's probably not too many toppings on it, and there's something so good about just being in like a parking lot or in like a nice like grass field outside the stadium or something like that, and you just have like burger, cheese, ketchup if you want it, and that's it. Like I don't know, I like the simplicity of it before a game.
Yeah, especially at like Texas A&M, you see, I mean, any big college, but you see a plethora of different tailgates, and it's all on this scale. You'll see people that just threw it together, and then you've got people that have been tailgating in that exact same spot for 20 years and have never missed a home game, and they've got generators, and they've got 3 grills out there, and they've got, I guess now, air fryers, since that's a thing. Like,
Yep.
They got the whole shebang.
Wow.
So it's nice sometimes to just do the basic, but I've been to both, and
No, I kind of want
Pros
to go
and
to an
cons.
air fryer tailgate.
yeah,
That sounds
dude,
good.
what if there was just an air fryer tailgate? No grills, just air fryers.
Honestly, if I was an air fryer company, I would totally
Yeah.
yeah,
market that
towards
and
it.
like it's a good
Yeah.
market.
My air fryer has a grill function.
There you go.
actually.
Boom.
So
2 in
Don't
1.
even need a grill.
Yeah.
All right, my second pick. I'm going for the win here. Smoked brisket.
You took my pick.
I knew I did.
Is
Listen.
that like a regular thing at tailgates down here? 'Cause,
Yeah.
like people don't.
Yeah,
do that.
that's why it's a good pick is because it doesn't. It's
Wow.
only like a southern thing.
I
And
cannot wait for a Texas tailgate.
well,
My
it's only
gosh.
some of them, but
Yeah.
my
You won't
my
find
memory,
it at every tailgate.
Yeah, exactly. My
Yeah.
memory is like college because a brisket, takes hours and hours.
Yeah.
Takes half a day, and so we used to have to do it the night before.
Mhm.
Like the younger guys at college would have to do it for the older guys, and so Friday night around like 7-8 p.m. we would start, and you just have to stay
Wow.
up all night
Yeah.
with it. And it's kind of fun. It sucked, but it was kind of fun too to like bond together with some other guys and just sit around and drink beer and wait on a brisket.
Granger just had his house complete, and his back patio is huge with a big TV. They didn't do a TV in his den on the inside of the house, but they did one on the outside, and he said it was primarily just for Texas A&M football. And so he has
Nice.
people over like all the time in the fall if he's here, and I'm sure he'll do a brisket because he has a Traeger grill too. And that's what he
Wow.
likes doing on Saturdays in the fall, so I'm sure we'll go over there and do that.
I
Yeah.
hope so. That'd be fun.
Brisket's like my favorite thing, especially like since moving down. Like there's a few spots that it's just like the best. And like I didn't put it on my list today because I didn't know that was a tailgate
Yeah.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
By the way, comment below the best barbecue you've ever had. I'm interested and where it's at.
Yep.
And where it's at, what town, city, and what the name of it is, because I'm interested. There's this huge argument between Kansas City, St. Louis, Texas. I've had good barbecue everywhere, and it's different everywhere,
yeah.
but I tend to like Texas a little bit more, but I'm interested to see what people say. All right, my pick is wings. Can't go wrong with
Nice.
wings. It's one of those things. It's just
Especially atomic wings. Those are my favorite.
atomic wings from Wingstop will
Yep.
make you not be able to sit for a week.
We had a little mix-up Friday night watching the NASCAR
Yeah, we
race.
got wings, and I got 4 atomic wings just so everybody could try one, and Ben didn't know, and so he just piled his plate with atomic wings, and he was just eating one
Didn't
like
say
it was
anything
normal.
about it.
Didn't say anything. And
He's like, man, I guess these Texans really like some heat in their wings.
yeah, it was really hot. Yeah, I love wings. Can feed the masses. You just throw them on the grill. They don't take that long. Super easy to do. Can't beat it. What you got, Park?
Sausage balls.
I knew that was coming too.
It's a good one.
Very
I knew that was coming
underrated.
too.
Very
Yeah.
underrated. You actually introduced me to those.
All of Parker's are just because of me, like
Yep.
little 16-year-old Hayden hosting a party at his house.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, do you know what sausage balls are?
Never had a sausage
Really?
ball. No.
So it's quite on the other end of eating them, it's great, but like making them is quite disgusting because
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just a ton of Jimmy Dean's sausage, like a ton, and a ton of cheddar cheese. And that's basically all it is. There's all kinds of,
Wow.
I've done it with like thyme before, and that adds a little bit of good herb flavor, but it's that, and then
Like
is it
breadcrumbs?
Bisquick? Yeah, you can do breadcrumbs too. But the easy one that I grew up on is just is it Bisquick? Stuff that you can make like
Yes.
pancake stuff. Bisquick, cheddar cheese, and sausage. That's the most simple one. I've done it since with breadcrumbs, and herbs are really good. Like if you throw some thyme in there, it's perfect. But yeah, that's a good one. We'll have to make you some sausage balls too.
Yeah.
He
I
laughed
can.
like he thought it was a joke, but it's like no, they're magical.
No, I knew it wasn't a joke. I just thought it was funny that he said sausage balls.
Like a child.
Yeah.
All right,
Literally.
Ben, what do you have? What do you have that's better than sausage balls?
So I don't know. I feel like it's a different thing. So I can't say if it's better than sausage balls, but I'm gonna go with steak tips. So this is gonna be interesting because it's steak tips can be different depending on the area you're in. In the Northeast, like New England area where I'm from, they are massive. Like you get a steak tip and it's literally just like about like a foot long, and it's like an inch thick, like a sirloin steak, and it is amazing. So those just hit different. Sometimes like my dad's really into smoking actually, and he'll
Cigarettes?
no smoking food, as in
It's like, whoa,
briskets
dude,
or
hey, we
steaks.
have younger listeners.
But he has smoked steak tips before, and he gets like the little like ring around them, and they're like tiny, so it looks like a cute little brisket, but it's so good. So yeah, steak tips.
Steak
number
tips.
2.
All right, my last one here is fajitas, chicken or beef, straight off the barbecue. Throw them in a tortilla, delicious.
That's another one of those things like what Ben was saying. You don't really need all the extras. Like I love fajitas with all the different stuff, but at a tailgate, just give me some chicken and cheese and a tortilla, and I'm
Yep.
good.
Say less.
Chips and dip. I'm going with
Nice.
all the basic answers, but and that can be anywhere from like regular dip to queso to I've even seen like some chili dips, but yeah, just chips and dip. It's great to have, great to munch on, even whenever all the other food's gone. You still got the chips and dip. Chips and dip. Chips and gip.
There it is. There's a mess up for today.
Chips and gip. I don't know what that is.
I
but
love some good chips
That's
and
a
dip.
strong pick too, because like football party, tailgate, whatever, you're getting some tortilla
Yeah.
chips. Like
Yeah.
doesn't matter what.
Yeah,
it
you
is.
got to, and you got to get the ones that the little boat that you dip.
And
the
you just love
scoops.
regular dip too, so
Mm,
that also just covers that.
yes.
Cigarettes,
trust in
dip.
dip.
What else are we gonna talk about on today's episode?
What do you got, Parker?
Chick-fil-A nugs.
Ooh, that was on.
Yeah,
my
you get the
list.
party platter. No one's
Yep.
gonna be ticked off at you.
Yep.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with that.
Yep.
All right,
Definitely
Ben.
on the
Last pick.
Round us out.
Last pick is going to be the breakfast taco. So my brother played college football, and he was about 6 hours away from home. So we would go. I would have my high school games Friday night, and then we'd leave at 3 a.m. and get into the area for around 9 a.m. And we'd stop and get breakfast sandwiches, breakfast tacos, whatever was around. So
At a gas
That's just-
station?
yeah.
Yeah, gas station breakfast
Yeah.
tacos are the best.
So
Yeah, that's a good pick.
hit different.
Well, that was fun. Football this weekend. Whenever this episode comes out, Dove season will be going for people in the South. We got anything else?
Brandon Jones at Darlington this Saturday. You know I got to plug it.
Let's go.
He's
Yep.
always hyping up Brandon.
Let's go.
All right. Thank y'all for listening. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you like this video and comment below because we may pick a fan of the week next week. Thank y'all for listening. See y'all next week.
Bye.
Eat your veggies.